Good evening. How are you today? Well, I'm calling you in the evening because I got tied up all day on the first day of this new year helping a friend. And so I'm not on my normal road. I'm not in my cathedral of trees. And I'm trying to work out some things for a good friend of mine. But I wanted to say hello the first day of the year and at least pass a couple of thoughts. Roberts, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, said, we don't need any corrections there. Well, that's nonsense. We have people on the Hill who don't want to work, Capitol Hill workers, because they see the threats that have been brought to their attention. And we're about to go over all of this by January the 6th when we have to deal again, if you will, with the anniversary of the attempted coup on America. But one of the things that struck me was an op-ed by George Will. And I like George Will personally, and I'll try to put up a picture of us both wearing bow ties together. And he is an articulate man, and he's taken up this position that I kind of think of it as the can't we just get along argument. And it goes like this. He speaks of a man who came here and who educated himself and who devoted himself to the dialogues of Socrates. And if you read them, you can see, in part, they are somewhat of a trick. The Socratic Method, what I saw in law school, was basically a way to badger a second person who did not know as much by setting up hypotheticals that were true or not true depending on what you knew. Okay, I'm fine with that. I was pretty sophisticated by the time I got to law school. And a couple of exchanges I had in which a professor asked me, what did I think about A? And I told him. Then he asked me about B, and I said something, and the two contradicted each other. And he said, you contradicted yourself. I said, no, you set up two different sets of situations in which the facts determined the outcome. And I don't know by experience, and I don't know by having been taught it here, which is the factual predicate upon which my conclusion would be based. Well, that's a simple exercise. And Aristotle's tried to do more with his books on rhetoric about politics. But here is the base of the problem with George Will's hopeful opinion. And it is that if you're going to lie, then we don't have a common ground to talk about. If you and I are in two different systems, sort of Einstein's frame of reference, in which your frame of reference is an autocracy and a violation of the current Constitution and an ability to overthrow the government, as compared to mine, in which I believe that if we tear down the laws, we couldn't stand in the wind that would blow. And we believe, in my school of thought, that truth is critical. That one makes an error is one thing. But if one is saying something that's not true, that's not acceptable. So what is the answer? The answer and the problem is personnel. We do not have personnel in the government who are prepared to deal with the government as it is, as it was intended, as it was meant to be. And we have a criminal element in the Republican Party that for most of my life didn't exist. There were crimes from time to time. There's corruption from time to time. But now we have a situation in which we have a critical violation of the laws of our land. So what can we expect in the days ahead? I think that the dialogue has to be going forward to say what you're saying is a lie. What you're saying is against our Constitution. What you want to do is to cheat because you can't otherwise in a democratic system be elected. So those are a few of my thoughts. I apologize for not bringing to you the verdant splendor of the dirt roads where I am. But I had a couple of thoughts, and George Will, I do like him. But on this, he's just too optimistic and hopeful about something that can't happen with this Republican Party. So tomorrow, I hope to be speaking to you from dirt roads because I think that I'm going to work through this problem by sometime tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye.